What I do not understand is why everyone was so bleeping quiet over the course of this past 10 months. Shoot, ever since I got back on the air, we're talking in February, we've heard Jack Easterby conversations, of course, all across the radio dials in town, and you'd see it discussed on TV. So if we're talking about media folk talking about Jack Easterby, there certainly was a lot of it, and I'm sure that you guys were all bleeping sick of it. Because since I've been back here, I don't think Jack Easterby has had a damn thing to do with any of the football operations for this team. I think the last thing that he tried to do was to get Josh McCown hired. I think they said, nah, shut the hell up. And I based that off of, on March 1st, Nick Caserio at his press conference saying that I am the one who made the decision at head coach.
Ultimately, Cal kind of put it on my shoulders to kind of, make the decision I felt was best and to bring candidates to the table. So, Cal was very, I would say, supportive and open, certainly put a lot of stock in the things that I had to say.
That right there, I think, was the death knell for Jack Easterby having power in that organization. And then after that, we didn't really hear much or see much. We saw the occasional, Jack Easterby, I can't believe he's still here, tweet. Oh, it's just a bad look for the Texans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then you had that story come out in Sports Illustrated that just talked about what a weasel Jack Easterby was during his time with the Texans. That's it. And then yesterday, I thought it was really interesting that everyone all of a sudden held their hands out, grabbed the closest person to them, and started dancing around in a circle. Ring around the rosy, pockets full of posy, ashes, ashes. Jack Easterby's dead. Everyone in unison was doing the same thing. And it's one thing to see the usual suspects, like take, for example, the Houston Chronicle. See Jack leave. That was one headline. End of an error. That was another headline. I saw John McClain tweeting out, Jack Easterby spent too much time leaking Texan stories to his favorites in the media, which earned him a lot of enemies. I love John. Interesting first statement. Are you one of the enemies? Then he denied leaking stories to the McNair family. Good riddance. Just an FYI, continued McNair, in case anybody actually buys into the mutual parting of the ways, Easterby was fired over the weekend, pure and simple, no matter how the Texans or Easterby tried to spin it. Fired. Despedido. Licenciado. Gilfevert. Brian T. Smith tweeted out, the great disruptor is finally gone, at least a headline. He compared him to Littlefinger as well. These are the people that you expect it from. But this, I think, is a bad look from all of these people involved. Because for whatever reason, they felt like they did not want to get their hands dirty when it comes to talking trash about this guy. Did any of the former Texans that have made this organization have even a semblance of history? Why did they not say a damn thing? Andre Johnson, I guess, was the only one. He was a part of the organization, and he left the organization. But Andre Johnson is remarkably quiet. You saw Andre Johnson put up an Instagram post smiling. J.J. Watt, Lamar Miller, DeAndre Hopkins, they all commented on it with essentially implications of R.I.P. Bozo, sort of like what we saw with Queen Elizabeth not too long ago. D-Hop was even laughing about the firing. My question is, where was this? Where was this from them? If you don't like Jack Easterby, you think the guy's ruining the organization. Why did no one speak up on it? Why did no one name his name in positions like that? It's one thing for all of us to do it. What else do we got to talk about? Especially now that the Texans stink. It's one thing for us to do it, right? Where was the energy from the people that actually matter? Where was it? Why wasn't it there? And look, I think that Cal McNair finally read the room. I do. I think he deserves credit for taking a baby step forward in the right direction. It is a baby step. It has no impact on winning, and I do think that the timing of it was weird yesterday to release that news. Why not release it, I don't know, months ago? Why not do it months ago? What happened now that led the Texans to fire him over a bye weekend? I, for the life of me, can't figure that out. But I don't get where everybody else was for the last 10 months. I wasn't here for pretty much any of the Jack Easterby era. I think that was during some of my last days doing Mad Radio over at the flagship. I remember the headline came up. I remember that certain people were rather effusive in their praise of what Jack Easterby had done in organizations. I was like, he's a chaplain who gives a bleep. And then lo and behold, when I'm in Seattle from afar watching him amass all this power, I saw some people complaining about it, but no one that mattered. No offense. Where was that? Where was the energy from a J.J. Watt? Where was the energy from a DeAndre Hopkins? Where was the energy from, and honestly, an Andre Johnson? They should have been more outspoken about this. Everyone kind of sat idly by. Now they're all celebrating. And to me, I'm like, you guys look like losers. You didn't do anything about it. You just let this guy sit and fester and ferment and take over. Where was Aragorn and Gandalf breaking into the Hall of Rohan to get Grima Wormtongue away from Theoden King? Where the hell was that? Nice Lord of the Rings reference, Paul. Nice. But where was that? It wasn't there. And for the life of me, I'm not going to figure that part of it out. Like, it's one thing for us to bitch and moan about it. Like, that's what we do in sports talk radio. But where the hell was everybody else? You guys all sat by idly. I'm not going to compare it to, like, Nazi Germany or anything like that. But, I mean, someone's going to do something. Someone's got to step up. Someone's got to try to pull a coup. All we got was a nationally written article about it. That's it. I mean, I think Bob McNair has been, I think Cal McNair has been a little bit better about fan engagement over the past couple of months. I think he deserves credit for that. And maybe now all of a sudden he's like, oh, wait, everyone in this fan base hates Easterby. But where the hell was everybody else to tell him this is bad? Where is this guy taking us? Why is this guy here? What are his qualifications? And no one did anything about it. And I thought it was weird. I came in here and I was like, I just don't have the same energy for Jack Easterby that everybody else does. I don't care that much. Okay? He's a chaplain. Seemed like he amassed a lot of power. Wow, religious people getting a lot of power. Always kind of awkward. No offense. But that was really my only take on it. I didn't think he was actually having much of a say in the day-to-day operations of the team with Nick Caserio firmly in charge. And I think Caserio's taken this team in the right direction. But where the hell was everybody else, like over the last 10 months, to finally put the boot down on the guy's neck and squeeze him out? Where was it? Wasn't there. I think that's a massive failure by everybody else. And I think all the people that are celebrating today, that are excited today, and I'm not talking about the media folks. I'm talking about the people that are higher up the food chain. I'm talking about ex-players. I'm talking about everybody. Where the hell were you? You had the power. You had the power to say something. We talk all the time about how players don't want to be told to shut up and play or shut up and dribble. Where the hell were you? Talk about this. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to be considered a non-culture fit. You're a football player. You have way, 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 way more importance to an organization, if you are a good one, than a bleeping chaplain who became team vice president. I for the life of me, don't get it. What was the worst thing that was going to happen? You get traded out of town like DeAndre Hopkins? If you were to speak up on it? Wow, that sucks. Based off the last couple of years. Oh, man. Man, I mean, if you had left Houston, you would have missed out on a quarterback quitting on a team, being involved in a series of sexual misconduct allegations. Like, what were you doing? No one spoke up. Massive failure. So all those people celebrating today, where were you? That's all I'm asking. I don't care about this. This is not my problem. This wasn't my problem. It was your problem, and you did nothing about it. Good thing Daddy's home. Good thing Daddy's home. That's me. Hi, I'm Paul Gallant.